It's now time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and local perspectives of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is being brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association, and it can be heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on local radio WMOA AM 1490 and ESPN radio WJAW FM 100.9 and AM 630. It's now time for the show. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Energy Insights brought to you here on the radio by Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Don Huck joins us again from Artex Oil Company, and we were talking about seismic imaging, just a very interesting topic, and the technology that allows you to see underground, so to speak. So can we expand a little bit on, we talked 2D, 3D, and exactly how it's done?
Sure. You've got two different types of seismic imaging. You can do what's called vibrosize, which if anyone saw some of the trucks that came through Marietta a couple years ago, whatever, that's what they were doing. They would set the trucks up on the streets or whatever, have cables there, and they would actually put just a little bit of a vibration in the ground, and that's a one way to get the signal into the ground and listen.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, we would see the trucks like in town, and you wonder what's going on. So that was it. That's been a little while ago.
Yeah, and that's called vibrosize, where it's just a vibration, and they put the signal in from the surface with just a pad on the ground. And then the other one is, especially if you're doing a 3D type of thing out in farmland, country, and that sort of thing, you actually can drill some holes in the ground, put just a small charge in there that you'll just put a signal down into the ground as well, and you listen either in a 2D way in a line or in an aerial extent like 3D.
Okay, and so are we looking right where we are? I mean, where our feet are? Or are we looking, or are we trying to see a bigger area?
Especially with three-dimensional seismic, you're looking to see a bigger area. And every listening device out there is just listening. It's listening for a train going by. It's listening for a signal in the ground. A lot of that background noise gets weeded out, but it's all the devices are listening in a three-dimensional way. So if you're across 30 square miles, you may be listening from 2 miles away.
Don Huck is our guest on Energy Insights. He's with Artex Oil Company, and I want to ask, it's kind of a why do you do this, but also maybe ideally what are you listening for? What do you see? What are you listening for?
Yeah, when you get the data back and it's processed or whatever, it turns into a lot of squiggly lines that scientists will look at, geophysicists and that sort of thing. But what they're looking for is they can take all these interfaces between different rock layers, and they can take the time that it took for that signal to go down and bounce back and equate that to a depth. So they can start looking down at 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, 10,000 feet, and look at your conventional reservoirs like the Berea, like the Clinton, like the Rose Run, that sort of thing. And you just start looking for anomalies in terms of structure and that sort of thing that can be possible traps for oil and gas.
Those specific areas that you mentioned, is there a list of those, and are those producing, or how would you label those?
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of knows what the historical ones have been over the years, starting up in Maxburg with some of the real shallow stuff and that sort of thing. But yeah, there's a list, there's a stratigraphic column, they call it, that a person can always go out and look on the internet and see just what they call all the rock layers that go from the surface down to the basement.
All right. As always, we thank you for your time and appreciate your insights, and hope to get to speak to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Don Huck is with Artex Oil Company, our guest on Energy Insights, a show that you can catch every Saturday morning at this time right here on the radio.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WMOA and ESPN Radio WJAW as Johnny Wharf brings you your local and inside perspectives of the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley.